Whatever you sow, you reap. How does this principle relate to us? Well, you see how it relates even to a believer in the form of consequence. You see, sin always has a consequence. We read about David and Bathsheba, how David stole another man's wife, and of course, Bathsheba was pregnant, and the baby died. And of course, you read later on in David's life how his kids sort of began to follow the pattern that Dad had set. They're not good kids. The boys are not good boys. And David's neglect of raising kids right, it gives him all kinds of family troubles. You reap what you sow. You can be forgiven. We can even be justified. But you cannot sin without some consequential harm being done to yourself or others around you. And more so if you're supposed to be a believer. And yet you're sowing to the flesh. What you sow, you will reap. Galatians 6, verse 7, do not be deceived. God's not mocked. Whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. For he who sows to his flesh, will of the flesh, reap corruption. But he who sows to the Spirit, will of the Spirit, reap everlasting life. So it has negative, and of course it has positive implications also. The negative, garbage in, garbage out. Positive is, if you sow spiritual things, you'll reap spiritual things. We may fool people, may even fool ourselves, but not God. What am I planting into my mind? What am I doing? Am I feeding the spirit? Am I feeding the flesh? Our mind's sort of like a computer, isn't it? You can only give out what's fed in. We have to be careful. We get a barrage of fleshly things that appeal to the flesh in our world today. We have to be careful. Sowing to the flesh never gets enough, never satisfied. You got to sow to the Spirit, the Word of God, and you're reaping kind. Wonderful positive side. Galatians 6 verse 9. Let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. And that's a glorious thing here, you know. It's sort of speaking to the converted here. You guys are here, you're getting into the Word, and take that as a promise. You will reap. You will reap good from it as you follow the Lord.